Hi everyone, it's Fiona here from fionamarks.com, and I'm back with another video for the Year 4 apprentices in the Asheville Vedic Astrology program. And in this video, I want to talk to you about workflow processes, because I think this is one of the things that happened for us in our 4th year, and I hope in a way that it happens for you, but it's a bit overwhelming. So really, as soon as Ryan decides that he's ready to go with his Year 4s, so maybe when all the assessments are done from the end of the Timing and Dasha's 3rd year, the final course, what he did for us was he wrote a blog post to let the world know that his apprentices were ready and that they needed to do 42 readings each during this year. So if anybody was interested, they could fill out a form to Ryan. And then he allocated those to us like off a list. So the first one and went to the first person, second one went to the second person until he'd gone through all the list. And then whatever number that was went back to the first person, second, third, fourth. So round and round, distributing these readings. And it's a little overwhelming, or it was for us, because within just a few days, there were many, many, many people that were allocated to me. So there were many people allocated to each apprentice. And this is where suddenly you're interacting with people, but you have no workflow put together. So I wanted to share with you some of the things that I did that I kind of created on the run that you might like to put a bit of thought into now before you get started. But I definitely want you to think about what process you're going to have to manage the readings that are going to come in from Ryan's blog. So I don't know even where to start with you. Maybe I can share, oops, nope, not that one. Let's share screen. Yes, okay. So one of the things that I did immediately was to put a spreadsheet together so I could tell who was who and where they were up to, because if you can see from the 15th of January, so I received from Ryan on that first day, I received 3. And then on the very next day, I received 4 more. So after 2 days, I had 7 people that Ryan had sent me. And I only need 14 for the whole first term, right? And then by the end of that week, there were another 4. So like I'm into 11 people by then. So it was really overwhelming at first. So one thing that you could do is create a spreadsheet to register for just for yourself who you've received and what date you got that information on. And then I needed to send them an email. So I would write down when I replied to that person so that I had a sense that I had replied to each person. And then a status where you can say, you've got to have your own headings, but, first contact made, or appointment booked, research done, reading done, feedback sent, feedback collected, just some kind of status so that you know where you're up to. And then I had my own little checklist here of whether I'd prepared, whether I'd got the client feedback, whether I'd done my feedback, and whether the client had paid. And you will want to set that up in your own way. So one thing you could think of doing straight away is having some way of registering, just in case, like us, you get overwhelmed. Another thing that I did was, actually I can stay here. I had to go back to, so for all of my previous, when I was starting to work with Ryan, when I was doing my studies with Ryan, I was working full-time as a massage therapist. So I had my own booking system that clients interacted with. And that was the best thing, because I am definitely the person who will slow down email interactions because they just get lost in my inbox. I'm massaging all the time. I don't see them when they come in and they get piled on top of. And then I don't get time to reply to them. And then I'm massaging people the next day. And so getting a booking system was the most brilliant thing I ever did as a massage therapist, or one of. And yet when it came time to, suddenly we get these donation readings from Ryan, and I didn't have anything on my booking system, and it kind of didn't make sense for clients either to book through all this software that looked like I was a massage therapist. So I had to go back to sending emails, which I haven't done in forever. And I just wanted to let you know, if you have Gmail, that you can create templates. I'm sure that you can do this, whatever email program you have. So I created 2 templates. Oops. One was a generic one for the donation session. So I just said, hi, whatever the person's name was. This is who I am. I'm one of the apprentices. Thank you for offering to help out, giving them an idea of where I'm located, and flagging that time zones are going to be an issue. Originally, I used to say, send me an email with some ideas, but eventually I did put it on my booking system. And that was like my first contact. So taking Ryan's form that he generically sent to me and personalizing it to that client. Then the other template that I created, but you can do this your own way, is then I had one for my collecting my donations, because you end up saying that over and over and over again. So I allowed people, because I already had PayPal, to pay me by PayPal, or I could get them to pay through my massage booking software to use their credit card. And then I would link in their feedback form. So really my work process was, received the form data from Ryan, sent a template email to the client requesting a booking time. And then after the reading, I sent this one to follow up the payment and the feedback form. When you get the generic form from Ryan, the client already has their questions that they've asked. So I didn't ask them to clarify any of their questions. I just took whatever was on their form, but you might like to do that. So that's a workflow. Now, the other thing that I did that I don't know that everybody did was, I did my feedback form. So Ryan will give you the templates that he wants for your feedback and for the client's feedback. I did all of those also on Google Drive. This makes it look like I use Google Drive a lot, which is not the case, but I wanted something that would show Ryan the authentic chain that the client had given the feedback. Not that he was worried about it, but I didn't want him to think that I was writing my own forms that the client was saying, yes, Fiona prepared well and whatever. So I wanted to be able to show that these feedback forms really did come from clients. And I thought, well, to do that, I have to put it on a cloud somewhere. And this worked really well for me. So other apprentices had problems getting their feedback forms from clients. I generally didn't. So maybe having it on a cloud works better or not, I don't know. And then for each semester, I just put a folder for each person, and then I would share with that client, I would share a link where they could edit their feedback form. And then at the end of the semester, I gave a sharing link to Ryan so he could read my feedback and the client's feedback. So maybe I just don't really want to give away people's identities too much, but let me give you one of the apprentices. So then it's not too much giving away identity. Then in each folder, there's the client's feedback form and then my own feedback form. So these are the work processes that I used to get myself organized. So in this time before you get your clients from Ryan, think about how you're going to make initial contact with the client, even thinking about what email you're going to use, what email address you're going to use, and what you want to ask the client to do in that first email. And then think about how you're going to gather feedback and gather your donation payment in the other videos later. Like, I think there's so many videos to make for this Year 4 apprenticeship, but I'll show you the website, how I ended up building my website, because that's probably something that you will do over the year. And then in my website, I was able to enable that to do lots of this stuff. But until you're up and running, you need to use the tools that you have, like your email account and the cloud that you have with Microsoft or with Google or whoever you go with. Okay, I hope that's maybe put some thoughts in your mind about what work processes and workflow you'd like to have. Any questions, please feel free to be in touch. Okay, look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.